Welcome back to Funguy's Kitchen and Funguy The Entertainer cooks for you. Today we have a special. I've told you before, Piggly Wiggly has graciously become a sponsor of our show. They provide meat, and this month, since it is beginning of grilling season, they provided the bacon cheddar cheeseburgers, but these aren't just regular bacon cheddar cheeseburgers. These are brisket burgers. That means this is made from the meat of a brisket. So it's not just chopped up everything. This is a much higher quality piece of meat. There's 4 of them here, which is going to work great for our family today. So we're going to cook these out on the grill. Obviously, you can cook them in a pan. You can cook them in any way you normally cook them. But grill is definitely the best. So we're going to do that. The grill is now heating, but I also wanted to show you what else we're going to do, because since I'm going to be cooking outside, I can't use this face mount camera. I'm going to have to use the chest mount when I go outside. So we're going to do this part first. We're also going to cook, since we're doing the grill. You've seen me cook the the garlic parmesan asparagus on the stove. We are now going to cook grilled asparagus. All you need for grilled asparagus is asparagus, olive oil, salt, and pepper. That's simple. What you're going to do is you're going to pour the olive oil in the pot, add your salt and pepper, roll the asparagus in there so it's all covered. Then you put it on the grill right over the direct heat after you take the burgers. As soon as you take the burgers off, actually what I'll do is I'll move the burgers off to the side so they stay warm. And you'll see this, and then I'll throw the asparagus on there. I'm not going to stick this in here now. I'm going to wait till right at the last minute, but I wanted you to see how this is going to work and explain it. The other nice thing is Piggly Wiggly also has a fantastic bakery. They had a special on Kaiser rolls, sesame seed Kaiser rolls. You can use any kind of hamburger bun you want, but Kaiser rolls make a really, really awesome hamburger bun for a burger this size. If you're making little itty-bitty burgers like the frozen burgers that you get from McDonald's, this would be way too big. But for these are half-pound burgers, so this bigger bun is going to be fantastic. So I'm going to finish getting the grill ready and change into the chest mount camera, and we'll be back in just a little bit. Okay, we are back. We're out here on the grill. As you can see, I've got the brisket burgers. It even says they're great for the grill. These are absolutely fantastic burgers. There's 2 different kinds. One's a mushroom Swiss, the other is a bacon cheddar cheeseburger. Now, my wife and my brother-in-law are going to love these mushroom ones. I do not eat mushrooms. Oops, I got to remember not to twist when I do this. It's a habit. So, I have a new device for heating up the charcoal because the old unit wasn't working very well, and I didn't put quite enough charcoal in here, so this is going to slow down the process a little bit, but not a lot. Hamburgers cook very, very, very quickly. So what we're going to do is we're going to cook each side of these, then move them off to the side, do the same with the cheddar, and once everything is off to the side, we'll come back and do the asparagus. So as you can see, this is looking pretty good. I'm really looking forward to these. The cheddar cheese is my favorite. It's got bacon in it already. Although I do like Swiss cheese, like I said, I am really not a fan of mushrooms. I got sick when I was younger on them, and ever since then, I just can't bring myself to eat them. I know they're healthy. I know a lot of people just eat the heck out of them, but every single time I accidentally eat a mushroom, they make me ill. I don't know why, but that's just the way it is. So, we got a thunderstorm coming by. It was not supposed to hit this afternoon until like 7 o'clock, and this is way earlier than that I'm cooking. So, you can see the ground got a little bit wet. It's coming down in little downpours at the moment that only last 10-15 minutes. It's kind of like I'm in Hawaii. I don't know if you've ever been there, but when you're in Hawaii, it rains every single day, a couple times a day, for like 10 to 15 minutes, and the sun comes out, and then, of course, it's incredibly humid. That's just the way it is there. Okay, as you can see, we're starting to get some bubble down at the bottom here. So that means that this grill is nice and hot, and these burgers are going to cook quickly. That's why. Okay. So you don't want to turn them too early, because if you do, then they fall apart. One of the biggest problems, especially when you have bad weather out, you have a tendency to try to rush things. When you are cooking, rushing is not good. That's where mistakes happen. That's where food does not get prepared properly. So even if it starts to rain, I'll just keep going. This particular camera is actually my cell phone, and my cell phone is that Samsung Galaxy Active, so it's actually water resistant, not waterproof. Yes, you can throw it in a puddle and it'll still work, so they say that's waterproof. But I guarantee you, if you leave it in that puddle overnight, it probably isn't going to last. So they're water resistant. Now I'm starting to see that the hamburger is cooking up to the middle here, which is what we want. I have to cook one of these medium. The other one needs to be well done. My wife likes her burgers like me, well done. My brother-in-law prefers his medium to medium rare. But we want the cheese to melt, so we're definitely going to go medium. Now, obviously there's more heat on this side here, so I'm going to turn this one now, because I'm going to say this one, oh yeah, see, that looks really good. I'm going to wait just a little bit longer on the slightly thinner one. That one we for sure want to be well done. Now I've got, it's obviously more cooked here. There's just a little bit of a breeze out here because of the rain's coming through, so it's not quite as hot right here. I could have added more charcoal, but it would have added more time to the cooking, and didn't want to do that. I don't know if you can see it, but every once in a while there's some drips coming in here. It is sprinkling again. Oh yeah, see, that looks really good, doesn't it? My wife is going to really like that. So we'll let this cook for about 3 more minutes. And actually what we'll do, because this is going so fast, I'm going to go in the house. Oh, you can see one of the other cats. That is Putty, a tall Putty tat. She's a stray that we rescued. So what we're going to do is we're going to put some olive oil in there. That's probably more than we needed, but it's all right. And I'm going to put my coarse ground pepper in again. As you know, I like the coarse ground because not only does it taste a little better, it has a better look. And a lot of times it's not, you know, the food is about presentation also, not just taste. So we've got a good mix in here. Going to swirl it. We're going to toss the asparagus in here and give it a good roll. I'm also going to grab a spatula so that when we put this on the grill, we could scoop the extra oil and pepper out of the bowl. So let me grab a spatula here. Here we go. And we'll head back outside. Yep, sprinkling pretty good at the moment. I was afraid of that. As a matter of fact, I'm going to have to move these off to the side, drop the other burgers in here, and put the lid on it because it's coming down relatively heavy. And we'll go inside. I'll go and pause here. Okay, that little sprinkle has disappeared already, so see how these look. Now, the problem is when you close the lid on a Weber grill, the temperature above the coals actually drops because you're depriving the fire from air. I am starting to think I should have thrown a little bit extra coal in there when it looked low, but it didn't really look low until I dumped it. But so obviously make sure you have enough charcoal. This is still going to work because I'm just cooking 4 burgers and the asparagus. So it's just that burgers usually cook better on a higher heat. Especially if you're trying to get that medium in the middle, because the outside will cook really well fast. That leaves you the medium in the middle. If it sits too long, it has a tendency to cook throughout before the outside actually gets cooked to that consistency that most people like. Most people like this look right here. It is a really good look on a burger. It gives it more flavor. So that's what we're trying for here. Now the cool thing is, it stopped raining, so I'm able to open the lid here. There's definitely heat there. 'Cause, 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 Now, this burger is going to be mine. This one's going to be my wife's, and these two will be my brother-in-law's. So this one could stay medium, and this one could stay medium, but I have to make sure these two are cooked properly. Now, the other thing you noticed, because this is a brisket, it's a little slightly firmer piece of meat. If a lot of hamburgers, when you go to flip them, they have a tendency to break. You notice these did not break. These held together much better. It is the quality of the meat that did that. When you're mixing normal hamburger, there's a bunch of different parts of the cow that goes into it, and slightly different consistency. So when they're cooking, the burgers break a lot easier. Nothing wrong with it. I like burgers that way too. As a matter of fact, one of the best burgers I've ever had has stuff from the cow that you would normally not think you'd want to eat. But when you mix it with the regular meat into the burger, it is fantastic. I'm sure you've seen those shows where people eat the weird foods and stuff like that. There's a reason people eat those. Sometimes it pays off and the food is fantastic. In the old days, before everything was done in a grocery store setting, and you know, people hunted and butchered their own animals and stuff to eat. They ate everything because you don't waste anything. You waste something, you could possibly die, especially in the wintertime in the northern climates. So it's one of those things you learn to do on a farm. And yeah, see, this is looking really good here. I'm moving over slightly so it gets a little better heat. Excuse me. The pollen count is pretty high. I'll show you why. Let's see if you can see this. Everything's finally blooming here. We got dandelions, all the trees are flowering. It is fantastic. We had a very, very, very late spring. As a matter of fact, in the month of April, we had 6 inches of snow and cold temperatures. It was the 6th coldest April on record. As a result, everything's just going in overdrive. And of course, anybody with any kind of allergies is feeling it. Okay, this is looking really, really, really good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in the house and grab the asparagus, because this is going to go fast now. The cool thing is, since all that's in here is olive oil, salt, and pepper, you don't need a separate plate, because it's not like meat. This is a vegetable. You can put cooked vegetables back in the raw vegetable container. Don't ever do that with meat. If you were to make, say, meatloaf, and you put hamburger in here and Italian sausage, as a matter of fact, I'll show you how I make meatloaf on one of these shows, and you mix it all up, and you think it's clean, so you want to put, you know, something back in here, don't ever do that. It's just not worth your health. Okay, but vegetables are okay. Now, this is looking pretty good. Make another turn here. We know that this is the one that doesn't need to be cooked as much. This one here looks good. This one here looks good. We'll give it just a little bit more directly over the heat. Our first couple coming for the dinner for two and guest appearance on the show that was auctioned off at the FFA auction fundraiser will be coming shortly. I'm anticipating, seeing that we only do one show a week, and I'm sure you realize, since I'm doing all the editing, the video that I'm recording today won't come out for a week and a half, because you know, it takes a lot of time to edit, especially when you have 3 other businesses that you're doing, so there's not a whole lot of time. So within a month, the first couple will be in here. The second auction happened already, so we have that couple also. They said that May, June, and July were very busy for them, so they were thinking about coming in August, which is perfect, because by then it's the dry season. It's, you know, technically the dog days of summer, but that'll be perfect for probably cooking out on the grill, and we'll do something really interesting. I've got a couple different ideas. All right, I'm liking the look of this now, so I'm going to move these off the direct heat, but keep them close. And literally, this is how simple this is. We're going to lay it across the grill above the coals. Obviously, it has to go cross direction, otherwise they'll fall through, and that would be a waste. Now remember, we brought this spatch out here for a reason. I want to sprinkle the extra oil on here. It's also going to bring up the flames, which is not a bad thing. This is going to go incredibly fast, and I do mean fast. These are not going to get as tender as the ones cooked in the pan. The ones that are cooked in the pan have the benefit of having a lid on them, so they're also steaming while they're cooking. The olive oil helps keep the stalks from drying out. However, these are not going to be as tender as out of the pan. But a grilled asparagus spear has a unique flavor. It's worth doing if you've got the time and you're not afraid of a little bit of flame. You saw that when we added the oil. Olive oil burns. Any oil will burn. But this is looking absolutely excellent. As a matter of fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the lid on it, let the temperature come up, and we'll come back in 2 minutes. Okay, the temperature is a lot lower than it normally is. We're only at about 200 degrees. It's 200 degrees, but it is climbing, which is excellent. The problem is the asparagus cooks fast, so we're going to have to open the lid, which is going to lose a little bit of the temperature. But I want to turn these. Okay, that is still looking excellent. Put the lid back on. Let the temperature go up a little bit more. And in just a couple more minutes, we're going to be ready. Okay, we're having one of those days. You just downpoured again. I had to go inside, but look how delicious this is looking here. I'm loving this. I'm going to move this burger out of the way. Try to get the bottoms over the heat a little bit better. I'm going to head back inside. Sorry, I twisted again. See, but now I have the bottoms, which is where the stems are a little heavier duty. Want those to get a little bit better cooked too, otherwise they'll be a little bit too crunchy. All right, gotta go back inside because it is not cooperating out here, which is really weird because it's like clear right off to the north. Okay, it looks like the rain is not going to cooperate with us, so I am going to pull the food now. Put the two well-done ones off this end. Put the medium ones off on this end. And we're going to put the asparagus right in the middle. I got to close this up and get inside before the food gets all cold from the rain. Okay, we're going to go on pause for just a moment. Okay. We are all done. As you can see, I'm a little bit on the wet side. That's what happens when you cook outside on a day that, you know, especially in the spring. We get showers frequently around here. So here's what we have. We have a beautiful brisket burgers with the grilled asparagus. Look how fantastic that is. And just to make things simple, we went with tater tots. I don't know about you, but tots are awesome, especially with burgers. They're oven baked, so they're a little bit healthier than fried. Don't get me wrong, they're still not as good as a fresh potato, but you think burgers and fries, burgers, tater tots, it all works. So that's what we're going to do. So I hope you enjoyed this. Remember, Steinbrink's Piggly Wiggly. You can get all the stuff there. I mean, they're fantastic. They take good care of you. The quality of their specialty items is fantastic. You can see how great that looks. I'm looking forward to eating this. So, and remember, please like, subscribe, and share. Sharing is the world. So share it to everybody you can think of. We need to hit that 1,000 subscribers to get anywhere. We're a little over a couple hundred now, so we're on a roll, but it's obviously going to take a while. So once again, this is Funguy The Entertainer, cooks for you.